We try to mix art and creativity and fun and what we do with this message, and it's been a lot of fun actually.
Thank you so much, Justin, for joining us on this series. You've been such a longstanding partner of the Oceanic Standard and now Blue. We're really excited to hear from you. But as we kick off, could you maybe just introduce who you are for our audience?
Yeah, I'm Justin Ahiyon, one of the owners and managing partners of House of Yes, and now our new club, House of X. We're a Brooklyn-based venue, nightlife, hospitality group, and we focus a lot on artistic expression and inclusive kind of boundary pushing art and music.
And within all of that too, you've really been leaders in the sustainability movement, especially within the music and event scene in New York City. And so it's been such a pleasure to work with you on your plastic-free journey, but also so much more in creating awareness opportunities, education, and really becoming that hub in the community for this conversation. Could you maybe speak to some of the sustainability initiatives that you're most proud of that House of Yes has taken on?
Yeah, so it's been great working with you all, for sure. It's been really inspiring and we've learned a lot, and you definitely made it easier for us to kind of understand the path forward and gave us a blueprint to follow. And yeah, I mean, we started out, I would say, reducing all the single-use plastic and basically eliminating it. We doubled down our efforts in recycling and sorting and just making everybody aware, not just the staff, but the customers as well. The third part was really reduction. So we're not giving out just waste unless it's specifically asked for. Some of it we eliminated altogether. And certain things like straws and napkins and garnishes, like the customer has to request, which is cut down usage by probably 50%, so in some areas even more. The stuff is more expensive, but when you're using less than half of it, it ends up actually, benefiting the bottom line. So that's what we experience.
Are there any challenges or hurdles that you and your team faced and had to overcome as a part of implementing some of these solutions?
Educating the customer base, especially at first. When you change something like not giving out straws, then the poor bartender has to hear 500 times a night, where's my straw, where's my straw, where's my straw? So it took time to calm my staff down and, remind them why we're doing this and how important it is. And just a moment in time, and eventually the customer base will learn and understand. And we ended up putting signage, and anytime people would ask, you could just point to something rather than try and shout over the loud music. So that really helped. And slowly, people stopped asking and everybody kind of understood and started supporting. And, we actually get quite a lot of positive feedback now. When you're very set in your ways and we're a very high volume and a busy place, it's hard to change certain fundamental things, or it's hard to at least think about changing it. But once you can get over that mental burden and just get to action, which is what we're very much about. So we had a few town hall meetings where we would have the projector on stage and we would explain and field questions with our staff of about 100 people. And this is a good way for us to really build excitement and engagement, and everybody was super on board. I mean, not a single person, once we really explained where we're coming from and a lot of the information that you provided us, we made it fun. Half of the people came that were on stage in costume, and this is how we do things. Always do things wacky and wild, and we made it a big fun. We made YouTube videos with all these drag queens and performers and everybody recycling and stuff. So we also have some performers, namely Nate and Hilla. I don't know if you know these two rappers who their whole post is about green and environmentalism. So they did a lot of work with us. Everywhere we go around the world, they perform and talk about the birds and the bees and the earth and sustainability. So yeah, we try to mix art and creativity and fun and what we do with this message, and it's been a lot of fun actually.
With Blue, we chose the ripple symbol to really highlight the ripple effect of behavior change and action that we can all inspire. Have you seen through the role modeling, that House of Yes has demonstrated, have you seen other businesses really starting to take up the charge, or other businesses, even in your sphere, or perhaps even artists, to your point around as you're booking artists, kind of noticing how you're doing things and thinking about how they could be taking part in that as well?
I mean, we've definitely had an effect on a lot of the surrounding companies in Bushwick, especially when we're able to explain that, we're actually spending less and wasting less and using less, and that the customers used to demand certain things, but times have changed and people are educated and they're actually not demanding it, and they're happy to forego certain luxuries, for the greater good. I notice it also a lot in my restaurant, where we get tons of views about like, oh, no plastic in the delivery, no plastic, no plastic. People love this stuff, and
Yeah, cool.
yeah, it's valuable for the brand and it's valuable for the environment, and everybody seems to be on board. So I definitely feel like word is out and people are jumping on board.
Is there anything else that gives you hope or optimism?
Yeah, well, I mean, they banned plastic straws and they banned the coffee. They banned the plastic bags. I mean, it seems like things are going in the right direction. These things are all toxic and unnecessary. So, that's quite surprising. At least in New York City. I don't know if it's in the whole state, but so yeah, it seems like a lot of us were ahead of the curve, and now it's law. And so in a way, it's proof that it just makes sense to like anticipate and do the right thing, because eventually you're going to end up doing it anyway. And if you have more time to think and plan and prepare for it, it's just easier to execute and more financially viable. Even like, yeah, artists and DJs and musicians that have writers and stuff, everybody's seeming to have a lot more eco-consciousness in their requests and their demands. Whereas it used to be just like total excess, now it's kind of reverted to a minimalism, which is really awesome.
Thank you for your leadership in this space, and also in using your platform to inspire others in your community beyond artists to be taking action. So that wraps this series. Amazing to see these leaders from hotels to restaurants to music venues and events really taking action and integrating this in ways that make sense for their community and their business. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for more updates about Blue. If you have a restaurant, business, hotel, event, music festival, sports stadium, office space that you'd like to see go Blue, please tag in the comments or reach out at blue@oceanic.global. And you can check out more on our website, www.bluestandard.com.